Ron Healing.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
My concern is the provision of facilities or a specified parking area for tour buses in Christchurch. Just give a wee bit of background. Prior to the earthquake, I live in Salisbury Street, opposite large apartments, and it became apparent that it was being used as a parking area for tour buses. We approached the driver, and he told us that his company had bought an apartment, and that was used for overnight stays for the drivers and whatever. From our point of view, to have, say, 2 or 3 buses occasionally, certainly one bus in front of the house, and it wasn't an ideal situation. So, you know, look out your window and see one of these huge big buses every morning. So that's my main concern, that in the future plan of the city that there is provision for a designated area for the parking of buses. Those buses seem to be getting larger and larger. We have a tree outside the house. They've knocked the lower branches to flatten, knocked those onto the floor. Salisbury Street's going to become a 2-way system, so consequently the hazards there is going to increase dramatically, I would imagine. The sort of drivers used to stay there weekends, and then on a Sunday morning, very early, they'd come out early, obviously wanting to get away to wherever they were going. The bus would start up at 7 o'clock in the morning. He'd warm it up for 20 minutes. We were trying to sleep. They'd often clean out the bus and everything like that, and then off the bus would go, and then, another one would arrive. And so the whole scenario was really just, I don't think sort of conducive to a satisfactory lifestyle. So they're my main concerns. Yeah, I think I've mentioned everything that I want to say. Yeah, so that's the situation.
Councillors have got questions for you.
I must say this was prior to the earthquake. It's not happening at the moment for obvious reasons, but it was prior to the earthquake, and I was just thinking that subsequently it could occur again.
So you're worried that it will happen again?
Yes,
and
that's right.
You would like us to make sure that in our plan we have a designated, well, we allow residential residents to take precedence over the parking of buses, I think is what you're saying.
Yes, in a nutshell, yes.
Amenity.
Yes, I mean, obviously, no objection to the driver staying there overnight, obviously, in the apartment, wherever they wanted to stay. But, I think we could have a designated area where the buses could park.
Yeah. I mean, we've raised this with Sarah in terms of the actual interchange. We want the buses to go into the interchange, not to be parked on the road. I mean, we've got visitors to our city. We'd like them to be able to have that amenity inside as well. So I'm hoping that we could come up with a solution for this too. So Tim.
Realistically, there would be no difference between if it were a bus or a large truck, would there? In the sense that you've got a large vehicle that's obscuring your view or whatever, starting early in the morning, running to warm up and then moving off. So really, this would be more of a bylaw type scenario rather than specifically on buses. Is that correct? I mean, I don't see the difference. I'm
not aware of this sort of the legal requirements, but I'm just, as a resident, just putting my point of view that if we could have the buses parked in a specified area rather than sort of outside our houses for the weekend.
The only reason, from what you've said, the only reason the buses were parked at your house was because the company, it seemed to me, correct me if I'm wrong, had bought an apartment, so their drivers... Correct. So it could have been in Salisbury Street, it could have been Peterborough Street, it could have been anywhere. So the issue is the parking of a large vehicle. So you could have a trucking firm doing the same thing.
Sure, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
But buses, as I say, are huge. They sort of just... You're looking at a blank one. Yeah, that's the issue, yes.
Great. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for taking the time to come and make a submission. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Peter Townsend. And